In 2001, Elon Musk conceptualized Mars Oasis, a project to land a miniature experimental greenhouse and grow plants on Mars. He announced that the project would be the farthest that life's ever traveled. In an attempt to regain public interest in space exploration and increase NASA's budget, Musk tried to purchase cheap rockets from Russia, but returned empty-handed after failing to find rockets for an affordable price. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet in the solar system, being larger than only Mercury. In English, Mars carries the name of the Roman god of war, and is often referred to as the Red Planet. The latter refers to the effect of the iron oxide prevalent on Mars's surface, which gives it a reddish appearance, as shown, that is distinctive among the astronomical bodies visible to the naked eye. Mars is a terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere, with surface features reminiscent of the impact craters of the Moon and the valleys, deserts, and polar ice caps of Earth. In early 2002, Musk started to look for staff for his new space company, soon to be named SpaceX. Musk approached rocket engineer Tom Mueller and invited him to become his business partner. Mueller agreed to work for Musk, and thus SpaceX was born. SpaceX developed its first orbital launch vehicle, the Falcon 1, with private funding. The Falcon 1 was an expendable two-stage to-orbit small-lift launch vehicle. The total development cost of Falcon 1 was approximately $90 million to $100 million. At an average distance of 140 million miles, Mars is one of Earth's closest habitable neighbors. Mars is about half again as far from the Sun as Earth is, so it still has decent sunlight. It is a little cold, but we can warm it up. Its atmosphere is primarily CO2 with some nitrogen and argon, and a few other trace elements, which means that we can grow plants on Mars just by compressing the atmosphere. Gravity on Mars is about 38% of that of Earth, so you would be able to lift heavy things and bound around. Furthermore, the day is remarkably close to that of Earth. SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk remains focused on his vision for the company, establishing a permanent human presence on Mars, with its Starship rockets carrying people to and from the Red Planet. Musk said, "It's been now almost half a century since humans were last on the Moon. That's too long. We need to get back there, and have a permanent base on the Moon again, like a big permanently occupied base on the Moon. And then build a city on Mars to become a spacefaring civilization, a multi-planet species." Starship is the enormous stainless steel rocket that SpaceX has been building and testing at its development facility in Boca Chica, Texas. Starship's goal is to launch cargo and people on missions to the Moon and Mars. Current Starship prototypes stand at about 150 feet tall, or about the size of a 15-story building, and each one is powered by 3 Raptor rocket engines. Musk has previously estimated that it will cost about $5 billion to fully develop Starship, although SpaceX has not disclosed how much it has spent on the program to date. The company has steadily raised funds in the past few years to fund both Starship and its similarly ambitious Starlink project, with SpaceX's valuation soaring to about $74 billion, making it one of the most valuable private companies in the world. Additionally, SpaceX last week won a $2.9 billion contract from NASA to help the space agency land astronauts on the Moon's surface with the first crewed mission targeting 2024. Elon Musk company has performed multiple successful test flights of Starship, although landing attempts after the last 4 high-altitude flights ended in fiery explosions. Despite the prototype's destruction, SpaceX sees the test flights as progress toward creating a rocket that is fully reusable. SpaceX's current Falcon fleet of rockets is partially reusable, as the company can land and reuse the rocket's boosters. But Musk hopes Starship transforms space travel into something more akin to commercial air travel. The rocket's enormous size would also make it capable of launching several times as much cargo at once. For comparison, while SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets can send as many as 60 Starlink satellites at a time, SpaceX's Starship will be able to launch 400 Starlink satellites at a time. Musk remains highly confident that SpaceX will land humans on Mars by 2026, saying last December that it's an achievable goal about 6 years from now. He added that SpaceX plans to send a Starship rocket without crew in 2 years. Musk may be focused on Mars, but the hurdles of Starship's development are not lost on the space billionaire. It's a tough vehicle to build because we're trying to crack this nut of a rapid and fully reusable rocket, Musk said, but the thing that's really important to revolutionize space is a rapidly reusable rocket that's reliable too. Elon Musk has never been one to keep his long-term plans to himself. Beyond the development of reusable rockets, electric cars, and revolutionizing solar power, he has also been quite vocal about establishing a colony on Mars within his lifetime. The goal here is nothing less than ensuring the survival of the human race by creating a backup location, and calls for some serious planning and architecture. These and other aspects of Musk's proposed mission to Mars were outlined in an essay titled "Making Humans a Multiplanetary Species," which was published in the June 2017 issue of the journal New Space. The paper is a summary of the presentation he made at the 67th annual meeting of the International Astronautical Congress, which took place from September 26 to 30, 2016, in Guadalajara, Mexico. The paper was produced by Scott Hubbard, a consulting professor at Stanford University and the editor-in-chief of New Space, and includes all the material and slides from Musk's original presentation. Contained within are Musk's thoughts on how the colonization of Mars could be accomplished in this century and what issues would need to be addressed. These include the costs of sending people and payloads to Mars, the technical details of the rocket and vehicle that would be making the trip, and possible cost breakdowns and timelines. But of course, he also addresses the key philosophical questions: why go and why Mars? Addressing this first question is one of the most important aspects of space exploration. Remember John F. Kennedy's iconic "We choose to go to the moon" speech? Far from just being a declaration of intent, this speech was a justification by the Kennedy administration for all the time, energy, and money it was committing to the Apollo program. As such, Kennedy's speech stressed above all else why the goal was a noble undertaking. In looking to Mars, Musk struck a similar tone, emphasizing survival and humanity's need to expand into space. As he stated,